A scene within the film Oppenheimer featured an intriguing moment where the physicist's grandson expressed a desire for certain modifications, and these alterations might not align with your expectations. This discussion contains minor spoilers related to the movie Oppenheimer. Director Christopher Nolan dedicated significant effort to ensuring the biographical accuracy of his portrayal of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the pivotal figure behind the development of the first atomic bomb. Nolan even recounted to the Washington Post that he personally trespassed onto the Los Alamos residence of the scientists during the early stages of location scouting for the film. It's important to note that this narrative doesn't offer straightforward conclusions. Following its premiere, audiences have been actively deconstructing the film's myriad particulars, meticulously scrutinizing the fidelity of elements ranging from stars on flags to period-appropriate cigarette packaging. Notably, descendants of Oppenheimer have also contributed their perspectives on the film. Charles Oppenheimer, the physicist's grandson, shared his impressions about the movie with Time magazine. Charles refrained from watching the film until its official release and discovered it to be predominantly a truthful depiction of his grandfather's life. He remarked that while the film presented a dramatized rendition of historical events, it managed to maintain a substantial degree of accuracy. I have some disagreements with certain aspects, but these are not primarily attributed to Nolan. Charles identifies a specific instance in the narrative that he finds fault with. He questions the accuracy of a particular moment involving Oppenheimer's interaction with his professor, Patrick Blackett, where poisoning is depicted. Charles attributes this scene to a 2005 biography that served as the basis for the film. His main qualm centers on the reference to a poisoned apple, a motif he dislikes and associates with the book American Prometheus. Charles asserts that there is no historical evidence indicating that Oppenheimer ever attempted to harm someone. This assertion carries significant weight and implies a revision of historical facts. Throughout Oppenheimer's life, neither his associates nor his acquaintances considered this claim to hold any truth. It's important to highlight that Charles did not share a close relationship with his grandfather. He was born in proximity to Santa Fe, New Mexico, but only after both of his paternal grandparents had already passed away. In a conversation with Time magazine, Charles recounted that the family openly discussed his grandfather's ties to his father, Peter Oppenheimer, who spent part of his childhood in Los Alamos during the Manhattan Project. Charles elaborated during the Time interview that the family's general stance regarding what they refer to as the cult of Oppenheimer is to maintain a hands-off approach. He articulated that engaging with discussions in literature concerning Oppenheimer is a commercial enterprise aligned with his father's preferences. Charles expressed his reluctance to participate in publicly representing Oppenheimer in the same manner as others do as a part of a commercial endeavor. Charles did have some brief interactions with Nolan during the movie's production. Despite his reservations about the scene involving the apple, he ultimately deferred to Nolan's creative interpretation of the story. Charles conveyed that he would have excluded the apple reference if given the choice, but he did not envision himself offering cinematic advice to Nolan. Despite their reservations, the family was anxious that the movie might present their patriarch in a more colorful manner than they desired. However, upon the film's release, their worries were put to rest. Christopher Nolan aimed to convey his intended narrative, yet he recognized the importance of going beyond that.